I'll show you how it's done. Shazam!
Yo, 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 watch the flow. It's time for that underdeveloped show. I coined that. I created that. I didn't drip that from the Romeo show. That's not true.
Does the Romeo show have anything to do with Top Gun?
You know.
Top Gun.
So welcome to the review of Top Gun Maverick. Boom, boom, boom.
The sequel almost 40 years later. Continuing on the trend of making sequels to asshole movies.
Right?
Yeah.
First it was Coming to America.
Oh, yeah.
Which was not a good one.
No.
But this
is way better than that.
This is way better than that. This is like this film is much better than. This film is easily much better than the first one by far. The first one was even good.
Yeah, in our opinion, we didn't really care for the first one. This one is actually like a good movie.
This is like a better version of what that movie could have been.
Yeah, because it does repeat a lot of things. Like it does repeat a lot of individual moments from the first one.
There's definitely a lot of callbacks for sure.
Definitely.
But like so Top Gun Maverick, starring Tom Cruise, Miles Teller, Jennifer Connelly, Val Kilmer reprised his role. The dude, he has throat cancer and stuff, but he's so his voice is permanently damaged, but he's doing better. I heard. Glenn Powell, Monica Barbaro, John Hamm, Ed Harris for like 10 minutes.
He's barely in this movie.
And other people that we not gonna mention, whatever. Oh, and the dude. Oh, there's actually one dude that's actually from the good place. Manny Jacinto.
Oh, I didn't see him in this movie.
Yeah, what scene was he in?
Yeah, I would have recognized him. I've actually seen him in stuff.
These main characters weren't even born yet when the first one came out.
I really can't blame anybody for looking at fucking Maverick as a dinosaur in the movie.
Word. I mean, he has a whole. Tom Cruise owned to be any of these guys' fathers easily.
Like the movie starts off on a much better note because from the get-go, it's a more focused goal.
Yeah, hands down. I mean, the opening sequence with Tom Cruise testing out that jet. Because at this point he's old, the world's changing, and they take that into consideration because the world has been replaced with technology that can pretty much take over his job. So he's like, you know what? I'm gonna go out swinging. You know what I mean? I'm gonna beat whatever the military, whatever they got. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, it gives him something to prove. Really
exactly.
Early on.
So that first
gives him an actual goal.
Yeah. So that first scene with him flying that jet, first off, was beautiful because everything's practical. You see the beautiful skyline and the fucking airwaves, like when the jet just flew right past fucking Ed Harris. Mm-hmm. Then the air gust of air just blow things apart. I'm like, that's a fucking incredible. And it's the overhead shots of like the plane soaring through like the clouds and shit.
Yeah,
like in the dawn.
There's a lot of great looking shots.
The
this
visuals
movie.
were amazing. Mm-hmm. Some of the best visuals I've seen in a minute, dude. So the basic plot of this movie is essentially Tom Cruise has brought back to Top Gun to train a bunch of these young graduates. Young graduates. One of them is Goose's son, Rooster, played by Miles Teller, and it's family drama there. But basically, he has to get these guys ready for this mission against the enemy.
Just like the first movie, the villain is never specified.
So Tom Cruise has to lead these young graduates into this, like, we have to train them for this, like, mission to destroy up this enemy base. Yeah. They call the enemy. They're not, like, really specified who they are.
Yeah, it's like this nuclear facility that also has these really high-tech planes.
Yeah, and so basically they have to swoop in with the jets, bomb that shit, and basically fly up this mountain that's, like, very steep. Mm-hmm. And doing so they could probably easily lose oxygen and fucking lungs could collapse or whatever else. So it's a very highly tense mission. And then on top of it, they have to also watch out for like those heat-seeking missiles. Yeah. That's like as soon as they get in the air, and then also enemy spacecrafts. So it's a really highly dangerous mission. I don't know why they choosing Top Gun graduates when they can choose like actual professional fighter pilots.
Yeah, I'm not.
This is for a living, you know. Like
I know. I think it's like, oh well, these are the best. If there are ones who could do it or something.
Yeah, everybody's like under 30. I highly doubt you get people under 30. That's like the elitist fighter pilot. That's insane.
They bring in Maverick because Maverick is the only person crazy enough to even do something like this. I'm like, okay, we need you to teach those supposedly best of the best how to be even better than the best, apparently.
Yeah. Because Maverick is a Maverick, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, he does play by the rules.
Nuts.
He's crazy. But, I mean, honestly, the chemistry between the cast is, like, much better than than like the other movie, like the original movie. Like
because the original movie only had like 3 real people.
Yeah,
really
like they upgraded to like 6 real people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and you sense the camaraderie, you sense the relationship. You know what I mean? You actually want to see these guys again because them interacting this was really funny. Bond more. There's a lot more egos to go around. You know, and actually the black people in this movie actually upgraded to a couple lines. You know what I mean? Like they're just not just glorified background actors anymore. You know,
they went
from upgrade. You know,
they went from being non-characters to almost characters.
Exactly. Progress. So let's get into our dislikes of this movie.
Yeah.
The dislikes is, first off, Jennifer Connelly. She was good. The relationship is much better than the relationship from the other movie.
But that's not saying much.
It's not saying much because it doesn't really need to be there. You know what I mean? It actually kind of distracts from like the main plot a lot.
It really does.
Not in a fun way.
It's really disconnected from everything.
Yeah. But it was saying that's what we're gonna talk about for that scene.
Yeah, like honestly, it just contributes nothing. It's better off without that.
Yeah, we already covered that.
I as much as I do like some of the newer characters they bring in, I do feel like a lot of stuff happens off screen. Like especially like I feel like Hangman, he goes from being this generic '80s jock asshole, but at the very end he kind of like has this real change of heart. Like as soon as he's taking off the mission, he's really humbled and just does a complete 180 in his personality.
And eventually saves the day. This movie's like I'm good. The last sequence is much more like climactic.
It is. It's very.
The other one, it has a lot of ups and downs that had me on the edge of my seat. But it would have been more powerful if they actually killed Maverick off, because you think Maverick is dead for like a long, like a good bit, like 5-10 minutes, whatever. It turns out that he's alive, and I'm like, oh fuck me.
Yeah, honestly, the moment he survived the crash, I knew he was going to survive the rest of the movie.
Exactly. And then, get me wrong, there was like 3 other close calls. One day I almost thought he was going to get it, but then of course last minute saved. And everybody's happy ending, movie star Hollywood. And that really took away the film. The film would have been more powerful if they actually killed Maverick.
The thing is, like, it feels really out of place because a lot of this movie is actually far more grounded than the first one is. Yeah. But then at the very end, like, no, Rooster's going to save him, and then Rooster's going to get shot down, and then they're both going to steal his plane, and then they're going to take out these stupid super planes.
Yeah, with this old ass 1940s fucking plane.
It is the most Hollywood ending you could have Hollywooded,
which really took away from the movie.
Yeah,
it really damaged the movie.
It's not that we don't like the happy Hollywood endings. We just feel like they need to be earned in a movie.
Exactly, it wasn't earned. Like it could have been building up to Maverick getting killed off.
They really have,
and it would have been just a more powerful emotional ending. It would have been devastating, but it would have made sense.
Yeah, it would have been great, but
I was actually rooting for him to die because it would have made it would really solidified
like
the movie.
him, like as predictable as him sacrificing himself for Rooster was, that would have been the perfect way to end the movie, in my opinion.
And he could have had a sequel with his other characters and not Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I would have been cool with that. But honestly, part of me wonders if Tom Cruise had anything to do with how this movie ends, because he infamously did change a lot about how The Mummy was and how that movie ended. So I'm wondering if he
more than likely
if he pulled some strings to get this done
Tom
too.
Cruise is like one of the last really popular movie stars.
Yeah, he is.
You know what I mean? Like real, like a person whose name alone could drag in viewers. So it's probably just like a kind of like a marketing thing. Where it's like, no, we can't kill Tom Cruise. It's Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, like it's about the story. And Hollywood is changing that dynamic where we don't have true movie stars anymore. So it's really more about the story and what you're telling rather than it's the actors in your film.
Yeah, like the way Hollywood has been progressing, it's less about the actors and more about the characters that the actors play.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they don't want to sell you on Benedict Cumberbatch. They want to sell you on Doctor Strange. They want to sell you on Elizabeth Olsen. They want to sell you on Wanda. You know, I hate using MCU as the example, but they're like the biggest thing to make examples of.
Yeah. And I like Hangman. I thought he was a dick in a fun way, but he still had good and there's a lot of growth in his character. I just wish they actually showed some of that change.
Yeah, I would like more of that to be on screen.
Yeah, that would have really brought it home for me. Marcelo was good. I mean, he just was pretty much. I wish he had more screen time. Towards the beginning.
I feel like everything about him was what we expected.
Yeah. But it was good. I just wish the relationship was a little more nuanced.
Also, in my opinion. I wish he didn't have the stupid mustache.
Yeah, I'm like, he just pretty much a goose knockoff.
I mean, I get it. I get the intent, but
why make him look exactly like fucking? And why
doesn't need to? It's not necessary.
Yeah, and
guys.
why does everybody in this movie look like they're from the '80s? I mean, in like 2000s, dude. Why do I look like they're for sure from the '80s?
A lot of them do, but especially Rooster.
Especially Rooster, hell yeah, and a couple other dudes in the Academy or the Top Gun.
Yeah, like I really get the impression that no one has really moved on. Like, if anything, you might argue that Ed Harris is the good guy because he's the only one that's trying to progress and like wants new stuff. And like the thing is, like it really bugs me because there's like an easy argument for his way that could have been like a more morally complex argument. Because
rather than just shitting on Tom Cruise.
yeah, because like on Tom Cruise is like no, yeah, it's like no, oh like you're replacing us. Like I get that outside of the argument, but you also have to understand. With Ed Harris's way, that means less people are putting their lives on the line and actively being in danger.
Exactly.
And like you're still getting the same results either way. Like it's a morally complex issue, and they treat it like it's this good side and bad side. And I'm like, I feel like there's benefits to both. Like there's arguments on both ends.
Yeah, cause especially since the focus of the movie is getting people out in this deadly mission alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And since John Hamm didn't give a shit for most of the movie.
Yeah, he really didn't.
He was a complete asshole in this movie. Not even a charming asshole, just like a generic asshole in this movie. If you're a fan of the first movie, then obviously this is going to hit all the spots for you. It does
even better.
Yeah, it does like attempt to recreate certain aspects of the movie. They even have their own spin on the beach volleyball instead of beach football. Yeah. Like they even play a lot of the classic songs though. Thankfully, they don't play them on repeat the way the first movie did.
Just constant repeat. Oh,
yeah, like
fucking annoying.
I don't mind listening to Danger Zone once, but I don't want to listen to Danger Zone 5 times in 2 hours. No.
Word. But let's get to the score. So this movie, I mean, this is a superior sequel. A very, 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 it's a very on your edge kind of climax, that keeps you on your edge of your seat. And we had a lot of emotional beats. Had a good message, actual plot that I could vibe with. Mm-hmm. But the Hollywood-esque ending really did it for me because it didn't mesh with the tone that it was building up to.
Yeah, it feels out of place.
It's out of place, incohesive in that way. So that takes a lot of the movie out. Mm-hmm. It takes away from me.
Yeah.
So that alone makes me give this movie like a 78%.
Yeah, I'm not too far off. I'm thinking like maybe 75 at most. Yeah. Like I did like a lot of parts of the movie. I do see a lot of potential here if they do want to do another one, which I assume they probably will, since this movie is already like Tom Cruise's biggest box office hits. So there probably will be a sequel. Hopefully, it won't take almost 40 years to make it. But
yeah, I mean, I don't mind seeing a sequel with just the newer guys. Honestly,
you know they're not going to though.
Yeah, because Tom Cruise. Baby.
Yeah. No, Maverick's gonna have his time to shine.
Yeah, you know they named the movie Top Gun Maverick. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But with that being said, I think that's all we have to say on the subject. I think we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, thanks for watching, folks. Tell us what you thought of the movie down below if you saw it already. Hey, so peace out. Hit that like and subscribe. Seriously, we're watching you. Hit it.
Peace out, y'all.
Peace.